Parents are society's protectors.
Kate!
Children depend on it for their lives. But some women break the parents' code.
Kate, jump! I can't do it, I'm afraid!
Like Deborah Green, one night in Kansas City.
You jump now!
The victims were children who were innocent and depended on her to take care of them. She betrayed them.
To the world in the early 1990s, this is a successful family. Dr. Mike Farah is a promising cardiologist. Kids Kelly, Tim, and Kate are happy and confident. Their mom's a doctor too. Oncologist Deborah Green. But beneath the surface lies danger.
I think most people would look at her and see Deborah Green as a successful oncologist, but she was perhaps tortured with issues involving alcohol abuse, mental illness issues, and emotional maturity issues.
Deborah has been a straight-A achiever all her life. But medicine demands more than just smarts.
No, this is not right.
Deborah Green's biggest problem was Deborah Green.
Deborah suffers severe mood swings, lashing out at colleagues and patients.
Do it all over again.
And when the lows hit, she turns to alcohol and narcotics to stop the pain.
She wasn't cut out for dealing with patients. I mean, she was, very smart and technically maybe a good doctor, but her bedside manner was lacking.
Journalist Tony Rizzo investigated Deborah's fall. From valued doctor to ostracized clinician.
She quit actively practicing medicine. She did some work like that involved, reviewing records and things like that, but she wasn't really involved with dealing with patients.
The moods and the tantrums shut Deborah off from colleagues and family.
She rose to a pinnacle very early in life, but her personality didn't keep up with it. Her self-discipline didn't keep up with it. Her self-control was never there, and it started to fall apart.
What are you doing on this place? It's a pigsty.
Oh, God.
Husband Mike finds her drunk once too often. He threatens to leave and starts an affair. Everything Deborah has is slipping through her fingers. Her career, her prestige, her husband. So she starts planning retribution with a deadly poison.
She used ricin, which she obtained from seeds of the castor plant, which is an ornamental plant. And it was apparently crushed up and put into the food that she served him.
Want some?
Yeah, thanks. What's else soup?
Chicken.
Ricin is probably one of the top 1, 2, or 3 most toxic substances that are naturally derived on Earth. There's so much pain and suffering associated with ricin poisoning. This is a death that punishes.
Within hours, Mike Farah's body will react violently.
The toxin attacks all the cells that line the gastrointestinal tract, the esophagus, the stomach, the small and large bowel, if it makes it that far. The person becomes rapidly dehydrated, they have terrible abdominal pain, and then rather rapidly their blood pressure will drop, their heart rate will increase, and unless they get supportive medical care, they're going to die.
But Mike is not the only person on Deborah's hit list.
Can't imagine how frightening, terrifying, few moments that was for the children.
Dr. Deborah Green is having a breakdown. She has a history of depression. Her husband, Mike, can't control her.
Mike had taken Deborah to the hospital in an attempt to have her mentally committed.
Mike has found poisonous castor beans in their home and thinks she's trying to kill herself.
The doctor examined her and determined that it was a family dispute and was not something that would be a mental commitment situation.
Mike doesn't realize the deadly poison was meant for him. It's the reason he's been so sick lately. The dose wasn't enough to kill him. But his wife hasn't finished yet.
When Michael tried to commit Deborah Green at the hospital, she made a statement to him that, "You will get the children over our dead bodies."
Exasperated by his wife's behavior, Mike moves out of the family home. But the arguments continue.
At about 11:30 p.m., Deborah and her husband had a heated argument over Deborah's drinking and issues with caring for the children.
Mike threatens to take the children, and Deborah snaps.
Deborah's need to punish Mike superseded any love she might have ever felt, if she ever did, for her own 3 children. The best way to hurt Mike was to kill the kids.
The events of that night were sort of a perfect storm of 3 different factors. She obviously had some mental health issues that had not been addressed. When you put on top of that the heavy consumption of alcohol, and then the angry relationship, I think that in that moment, she did a monstrous thing.
She set the house on fire.
Upstairs, Tim, Kate, and Kelly are soon woken by flames.
Her son, Tim, got on the intercom and asked what he should do during this fire. And Deborah Green told her son to remain in his room and wait for the professionals to arrive.
I can't imagine how frightening, terrifying, few moments that was for the children.
Kate heads straight for the window.
Kate!
And makes her way onto the roof. She has a simple choice: jump or perish.
Kate, jump! I can't do it, I'm afraid! You jump now!
Deborah Green stepped aside and the daughter landed on the ground.
It's very hard to understand why someone would kill their children, but you have to remember that the women that would think that murder's the only answer aren't thinking right to begin with.
Right, it's a two-story building. It's almost completely in flames now. We need you guys
Police
here now.
arrive, along with Mike.
What's going on? What's going on? Who are you, sir?
But it's too late.
I've got to get the children. Please. I've got to get my kids.
Lying dead in their bedrooms, where Mom told them to wait, are 13-year-old Tim and 6-year-old Kelly.
One of the most gut-wrenching scenes was seeing the picture of the little girl, the 6-year-old. When they found her body, she was basically curled up on her bed in kind of a fetal position, but, you know, looked like she was sleeping.
I could not begin to imagine how her husband would feel after having lost 2 of his children to what she did.
A lot of people were affected by this case. It's just so shocking to have a situation where you have a mother that's capable of doing something like this to her own children.
The fire investigators found about 4 different points of origin of the fire. They determined that an accelerant was used and that the fire was intentionally set, that it was arson.
Deborah is the prime suspect. She's charged with murdering her children, attempted murder of her husband, and aggravated arson. Found guilty on all counts. She's sentenced to 40 years.
If Deborah ever did love her children, by the time she killed them, all of those feelings had long since died. The only thing that mattered in Deborah's life was making Mike pay for leaving her.
She did a monstrous thing, but I don't think that necessarily means that she was a monster. But in this case, it was hard to not feel some anger towards her. And the victims were children who were innocent and depended on her to take care of them. And she betrayed them.
When love goes wrong, there's always casualties.
I can't imagine what was going through Penny Budro's mind in those moments on that dark road.
I had a daughter roughly the same age. It hit home. It was awful.
One cold night in Nova Scotia will forever chill the bone.
I can't imagine what she would be thinking. And frankly, I don't want to. I don't want to think like Penny Budro.
I'm just here to reach out to my daughter, Carissa.
It's the saddest moment imaginable.
Want you home.
A mother begging a nation to find her child.
Please just reach out to someone. Please call us.
People saw this woman who was being traumatized by the fact that her child was missing, and they wanted to help.
12-year-old Carissa Budro has been missing for 2 days in terrible, cold weather.
If there's anyone out there who's seen her, please call.
Her mother, Penny, is desperate.
She was very tearful. She spoke of wanting her daughter to come home.
We all love you.
But it is all a lie. Journalist Lisa Brown was at that press conference. The winter of 2008, in Bridgewater, Canada.
Penny appeared to be a very upset, distraught mother who was concerned about her child. That's certainly what the community as a whole saw.
What the community doesn't see is an angry mother constantly at odds with her daughter.
We are not going home! Just let me out of the car, I'll walk home! You are not getting out of the car! You're ruining my life! Oh, I'm ruining your life!
Penny's parenting is going badly.
You are making me crazy! You are pushing me! Oh my God, just let me out of the car!
When her 12-year-old daughter would be upset, screaming and yelling, as 12-year-old girls are prone to do, Penny got right there with her.
Mom, I want to go home! You keep pushing me, I tell you!
Acting like another 12-year-old, screaming and yelling.
Stop screaming at me! You're an idiot! Pushing me. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you!
But on this cold night, the arguments will stop.
She finally drove to a rural road right outside town.
You're crazy, Mom! You're letting me out of the
and told Carissa that if she wanted to get out, now was her chance.
I'm telling everybody in school what a bitch you are!
Carissa got out of the car, and Penny tackled her.
You're a psycho!
Penny took the twine from her pocket. And she wrapped it around Carissa's neck.
It's going to take approximately 2 to 3 minutes to kill someone with a ligature. The fact that her mother was kneeling on Carissa's chest meant that it was more difficult for Carissa to breathe. She would have attempted to gasp for air, at the same time looking into the eyes of her mother.
Penny reports her daughter missing.
Initial indication was, okay, this is an upset child. She may have run off, and she may be hiding with a friend.
It starts as a routine case for Bridgewater police officer John Collier.
Usually with our efforts, we are able to locate the young person within 48 to 72 hours.
Your friend Sarah's worried sick.
This didn't happen.
Please just reach out to someone. Let us
The
know you're
press
okay.
conference yields few
If
leads.
there's anyone out there who's seen her, please call.
How could it?
The fact that Penny went in front of a camera and made pleas to the public as the broken-hearted mother
I just want to tell you, you have lots of people who love you.
speaks to her evil nature.
Two weeks later, Carissa's body is found. Where and how her mother left her.
Carissa was found with her jeans pulled partway down, one leg on, one leg off. Her underwear were down. She didn't think the body would be found for quite some time, and she believed that people would think that Carissa had been sexually assaulted, and that would aid her case.
Bridgewater is in mourning and in panic at the thought of a sexual predator on the loose.
This is a community that had not experienced any kind of crime like this, or a disappearance like this. There was that, who did this? Are they living amongst us? And is it going to happen again?
In January 2008, the Canadian town of Bridgewater, Nova Scotia, is shocked by the brutal murder of a young girl.
There were numerous concerns within the community that there was possibly someone who was out there sexually assaulting children.
But the truth is far more disturbing. The victim, Carissa Budro, was like any other 12-year-old. And so is her mother.
What the hell have you been saying about me at school?
You better not have broken my stereo!
Answer the question!
Penny's extreme immaturity is highlighted by the fact that when her daughter would be upset and maybe screaming and yelling,
Mother, I hate you!
Well, I hate you!
Penny, rather than acting like the adult, would start screaming and yelling also.
Little brat, you better tell me what you said!
The period!
Oh, get out of my room!
Her boyfriend,
Stay here.
Vernon McCumber, is tired of the constant arguing.
Well, that was real constructive, wasn't it?
Don't you start.
I'm supposed to stay here and put up with all this crap? Well, I had enough. I'm leaving.
Vernon, don't say that.
I'm serious. Either she goes or I go.
He did not mean it by the way of ultimately you should murder her, but he meant that she either has to go back to her father or the relationship is over.
Penny doesn't take any chances. To keep her lover, she murders her flesh and blood.
How could you do that?
I did this for
How could you?
It's a shocking choice that no one can imagine.
Penny, talk to me.
Until there is a surprising breakthrough.
The neighbors of theirs actually overheard Penny Budro and Vernon McCumber arguing in their apartment.
You gave me an ultimatum!
I had nothing to do with this. You disgust me.
Mr. McCumber, of course, making certain statements to the fact of, Penn, why did you do this?
I did it for us! You said her on me!
That's not what I meant, you crazy bitch!
We were looking at potentially the mother and Vernon McCumber being involved in Carissa's death.
Both are arrested on suspicion of murder. Although Vernon believes Penny is the murderer, he says nothing. Without a confession, police pin their hopes on an elaborate sting.
I've recruited a friend before, so he trusts me. Don't you worry about that.
They had put the undercover operator in first with the boyfriend.
No promises until he meets you, though, okay? Yeah, of course.
Became confident of him.
I'm definitely interested.
Indicated to him that he was part of a cross-country crime organization originating out of Montreal, that they could possibly use his help in around this area.
That's it.
Once released, the couple is eager to make some easy money.
Understood.
They very quickly felt that he had nothing to do with it, and then switched the investigation to centering on Penny Budro.
Penny confides to the fictitious crime syndicate.
Every couple of months, they come back and they tell me they found something new.
Her fear that the police are on her trail.
You know, I just wish that police vault would blow up or burn down.
Well, if you get picked for this job, maybe something can be arranged.
The undercover cop offers her a deal. If she kills for them, they will get rid of the police evidence.
I can do this.
How do I know you're not gonna chicken out at the last moment? A lot of people do.
I told you, I've killed before. I can prove it. I'll take you to where it happened and show you things only I can know.
Okay, let's do it.
Penny walks straight into the police trap. And before hidden cameras, reveals more than could be imagined. She reenacts her brutal crime.
It was chilling to watch the videotape of how cavalier she discussed the murder of her daughter.
Hands behind her back, had to get my knee on her just to hold him down. I got my twine. Just pulled it.
She told the undercover operator she put the twine around her neck and strangled her daughter as she was staring her in the face.
I don't really hold it down a bit.
She wanted to talk about what she did. She was proud about what she did.
Stronger than her. She didn't last too long.
And too stupid to remain quiet about it.
Okay.
Penny Budro seals her own fate. She pleads guilty to second-degree murder and is sentenced to life in prison.
There were like 100 people there. They stood outside and they jeered and they shouted and they shouted obscenities at her and they called her names. We've never seen that here. People were just angry.
Tragic thing is, a 12-year-old child who hadn't hurt anybody is no longer with us.
Penny Budro is a monster. She is the poorest excuse of a mother I've ever seen.
Murder can be found in the most surprising places.
There was an orb there about the size of a softball, and it was grayish, leatherish looking.
A horrifying secret.
And I said to myself, oh, I hope this isn't what I think it
is preserved in storage.
I could see the eye and the nose and the mouth of a little baby.
She was using murder as a form of abortion.
In the early 1970s, at Conyonga Lake, upstate New York, Diane Odell is a young woman giving in to her desires.
The way Diane was, it was like, now I can do whatever I want because I'm free. And she did. She met the wrong guys, and she got pregnant, and all kinds of bad things happened.
Diane is a headstrong go-getter who won't listen to her mother, Mabel.
Mabel had no control over her. So if Diane wanted to go out at 2 o'clock in the morning and meet some guy and go for a trice in the woods, that's what she did.
Diane's wild ways soon deliver consequences. A teenage pregnancy with a terrible aftermath.
I think that Diane Odell did not want this baby, and when this baby came out, she was alone, and she murdered this baby.
It's easier to kill a newborn baby for some women because the bond, the mother-child bond, hasn't been formed. For most women, though, that bond starts forming the moment she finds out she's pregnant. That did not happen with Diane.
Diane makes another shocking decision. She doesn't dispose of the body. She keeps it in a blue suitcase. Author M. William Phelps has interviewed Diane Odell, asking her why.
Well, one of the reasons she gives me is that she wanted to give the baby a proper burial at some point in its life. And she didn't just want to discard the baby as if it was a piece of garbage.
The nameless infant will never be buried.
What?
For the next 15 years, Diane takes the corpse wherever she goes. And as Diane and her mother move around the country, she dreams of finding the ideal husband and father.
She wanted a man to go out and work during the day while she stayed home with the kids. She lived in that fantasy world of the 1950s and 60s.
For 5 short years, she finds that dream. Marriage to James Odell and 3 healthy children. But when the marriage ends, she returns to her wild ways.
So Diane is again without a man in her life. She's got 3 living kids and 1 baby in a suitcase. And she gets pregnant by, she doesn't really know who. She's sleeping with so many different men at the same time.
Her 5th pregnancy is a problem. With no husband, another child is another burden. But Diane has a solution.
There probably wasn't much decision-making going on in her head to kill that child. It was easy. She'd done it before, and the child wasn't doing her any good.
Diane Odell is becoming a serial killer of her own children.
Diane's mind was twisted.
Diane Odell has her own solution to unwanted pregnancies: murder.
Smothering an infant is very easy. They can die without much effort at all.
With most infants, if something is placed over their mouth or nose, their exhaled carbon dioxide is then re-inhaled in. And subsequently, the child becomes hypercarbic, which is increased carbon dioxide. Death ensues shortly thereafter.
Maybe she did it for guilt. Maybe she did it because she was afraid to leave them behind, thinking they'd be found and she'd get in trouble. Maybe she did it because she could convince herself if she had them, they weren't really dead. We really don't know. Diane's mind was twisted.
Diane's preserved victims have one thing in common. Their fathers weren't around before they were born.
Whenever there's a paycheck around, she kept the baby because the baby could then, what? Provide her with money. The dad was bringing the money into the house.
There will be more pregnancies, more boxes. Eventually, Diane has 4 dead babies.
Basically, for Diane Odell, whenever she got pregnant and the father of the child wasn't around, she murdered that child. She was using murder as a form of abortion.
The murders only stop when Diane settles down with a new man and has 4 healthy children. But nearly 20 years later, her dark past will resurface. Diane has abandoned her personal possessions in an Arizona storage facility. When she doesn't pay the rent, the contents are sold. Thomas Bright thinks he's got a bargain.
I got a whiff of a musty smell out of it, you know, and there was some brown, flaky material, too.
But he's bought himself a crime scene.
I said to myself, oh, I hope this isn't what I think it is. And I pushed the bag a little further apart, and I could see the eye and the nose and the mouth of a little baby.
Baby in this box.
There's a dead baby in the box!
Thomas calls in the police.
Yeah, I thought I'd pick up some Not only do they find one baby, as they start digging through the boxes, there's another one. 2 babies. They start digging through more boxes, 3 babies.
Along with the bodies are documents and effects leading straight to Diane Odell. Back in New York, Detective Thomas Scalepi calls in Diane Odell for an extraordinary interview.
She was very articulate. She was almost like a grandmotherly type. I mean, she's an older woman, middle-aged.
Diane says the babies were all stillborn, and she couldn't afford a proper burial.
The odds of that, 4 babies being stillborn, and 8 healthy children that we knew she had, were, to me, it was minuscule. If there was some type of foul play, I wanted to get to the bottom of it. If the babies were stillborn, we had absolutely no charges. We had no charges against her at all. If the babies were born alive, naturally we had murder.
After more than 20 years, Diane is their only lead. Forensic testing of the remains can't distinguish misfortune from murder.
It is a determination that is extremely difficult to make, and a determination made years and years later on mummified remains would be virtually impossible.
But Diane will make the key admission.
How did you feel about that? The baby cried. The baby cried. The baby cried.
That's when she told us that, yes, the baby did gasp and cry. She eventually told us that all 3 babies gasped or cried.
The babies cried. When they were born, they were alive.
The only way they can build a case against her is if Diane Odell puts a noose around her own neck, which she just did.
She asked me, what do you think is going to happen to me? I said, Diane, what do you think should happen to you? And that's when she just looked at me and she says, I think I should go to jail.
Diane Odell is found guilty of 3 murders. She's serving the sentences concurrently, over 25 years.
I think there was more to it than simply killing them because they were illegitimate. Most mothers love their child no matter what the circumstances of their birth are. Diane did not.
I was stunned. If you didn't want the child, give it up. There's agencies that could take the children. You don't have to kill them.
Even Diane's brother, Richard, finds it hard to forgive her.
I have no remorse over where she is. I was probably one of the first to applaud when I heard the verdict. She didn't deserve any mercy. Not for what she did.
In Queensland, Australia, the sleepy town of Noosa is laid back and carefree. The ideal place to raise a family. Today, that serenity will be destroyed.
The 27th of November, 1987. Will last in my mind forever, till the day I die.
Pure innocence will meet a monstrous desire.
The last hour of Sean Kingy's life would have been absolutely horrific.
And one woman's name will become synonymous with evil. Val May Beck.
Anyone that could commit or participate in a crime like this isn't, I don't think, a human being.
In an Australian resort town, Barry Watts and Val May Beck seem like just another couple.
No one around here.
What about her?
I told you I want a bloody schoolgirl.
But their vacation is different.
I know what you want.
They are on a horrifying hunting trip.
Today's the day, Val. Little virgin. Gonna be a bloody first and last.
He's continually telling Beck that he is fascinated with having a virgin.
Alan Burke was working as a detective when the pair began stalking the streets of Noosa.
He was looking for a schoolgirl, a virgin schoolgirl, and that she was to assist him, and then he would be faithful to her for the rest of her life if she did that.
Like her?
Val May Beck doesn't flinch at her husband's appalling request. She will please him, even if it takes her to the depths of depravity.
I describe the relationship between Beck and Watts as a relationship that was born in hell. Had they not met, this may not have happened.
Here's a couple of pots there.
It's hard to say how a woman gets to a point of doing something horrible to a young girl because her husband wants her to. It takes years. It's not something that happens over a short amount of time. And the core personality of dependence has to be there to begin with.
Val May Beck began her life at the bottom.
She was in trouble virtually from when she was old enough to get into trouble, mainly for petty offences, stealing, breaking and entering, things like that.
Author Paul B. Kidd says she never made it out of the criminal underworld.
And just when she thought she couldn't get any lower, she met Barry Gordon Watts. Skinny little rat-like runt of a thing who'd spent all of his life getting in and out of trouble with the police.
We need to make some money. Oh, you have your fat ass in the Don't you bloody talk to me like that.
They were a very, very good pair.
Barry Watts is much more than just another small-time villain. He has a warped obsession with young children. His dark urges ignite Valmay's.
Valmay fits the profile of a woman married to a sexually sadistic predator. And she became one herself. But it was always in her.
I can get you one of those, Mary. She was deeply in love with Barry Watts. I think that she wanted to please him, but I think that she bought into his fantasy life and she became very much involved with that fantasy life. She became very dangerous because of that.
Late afternoon, 12-year-old Sharn Kingy and her mother, Linda, have been shopping after school.
Sian Kingy was arguably the most beautiful girl at her school. She was loved by everyone. She was a champion at sport. She was good to her family. She was the daughter that every mother and father wished to have. She was an angel.
They live just minutes away. Linda thinks nothing of letting her daughter ride home on her own. Barry Watts and Valmay Beck wait on the other side of the park.
Don't you worry, somebody belongs.
This wasn't all Barry's crime. We know that the day it happened, it was Valmay that said to Barry, "Today's the day." She's the one who chose the victim. She's the one who got her.
You said today?
Settle down, all right? Just settle down.
At one point in Valmay's life, she was a little 12-year-old girl, and yet she had no empathy for what she was about to do to another little 12-year-old.
Shut up! Keep driving!
Riding home after school, 12-year-old Sharn Kingy is the picture of childhood innocence. She's also the ideal fantasy of a married couple with terrible desires. Barry Watts and Valmay Beck.
Watts has spotted her and said, "Here's one now."
Sharn doesn't normally talk to strangers.
Excuse me? Yes? You haven't seen my little dog, have you? No, I haven't seen her.
But this homely woman seems harmless.
I'm not worried about her. You can't really find anything.
If you saw Beck in the street, you would think she was just another middle-aged woman, grandmother. You would never pass her off as a killer.
Oh, you're a good girl.
Sharn is forced into the car and taken away.
Don't kill me!
Minutes later, her mother comes looking for her. Something is very wrong. In a secluded area on the outskirts of town, Valmay tries to calm her terrified victim.
She did say in her interview that the little girl was whimpering. And she said to her that everything will be all right, to calm the little girl down.
Nothing's gonna happen to you. Nothing's gonna happen to you.
Comforting a child is something Valmay is used to. She has children of her own.
She's telling this child all the time, "Oh, just go along, you'll be all right, nothing will happen." So she's behaving she claims, in quite a maternal fashion to this child, which it makes the whole situation even worse. So it twists maternity inside out, makes it something totally perverted.
Now Barry unleashes his most sadistic desires.
She stood by while Watts has raped Sian and sodomised her. He initially tried to choke her. He stabbed her numerous times in the chest area. And then he cut her throat.
As Barry takes a 12-year-old girl's life, Valmay stands by her man.
I don't believe for one second that she was frightened of him. I think that Valmay Beck had a choice from start to finish, a choice she chose not to exercise, which was to stop this murder. She could have stopped the murder at any point.
This is worse than animals. And she stood by and let it happen so that he would love her more. Do you think she's not evil?
Valmay does more than help her husband. She shares his twisted passion.
On Beck's word, they've celebrated the incident by having sex themselves. That's beyond me. You know, I just can't believe that a woman could do that. You know, it's beyond description.
Valmay probably got as much of a thrill sexually and psychologically out of this crime as Barry did.
1 week later, Sian's mutilated body is discovered. A community is shattered.
It took away the innocence in life. I'd been around a while and seen some pretty awful things, but I think this really scars you to the core. My daughter was about the age of Sian, and I became extremely possessive of her in relation to her going anywhere by herself.
In the aftermath of such a savage sex crime, police believe they're hunting a man.
Didn't really enter into our heads that a female could be responsible for this as well. Very rarely do you get an occasion where you have the wife freely participating to assist the husband in such an horrific crime like this.
One clue turns the investigation. In a small town, strange cars tend to be noticed. A local enters the police station with a hastily scrawled license plate number.
So from that, I did searches, interstate searches, and came up with Valmay Beck.
When the pair are finally arrested, Valmay makes a cold-hearted confession.
She showed no emotion at all. Not a tear was shed.
Found guilty of murder, Valmae Beck and Barry Watts are given life sentences. In 2008, the heart that held no compassion for a child gives out. Valmae Beck dies in prison. Sharn Kingi would have been turning 31.
People put on this earth to do something positive and leave it that way. She's come onto this earth, and the only thing she's done is, in her life, is killed a little innocent girl. That's her contribution to society. And as such, when I saw her die, I had no regret.
Terry Walker is a survivor. A woman with a terrifying past.
To be honest, it was such a far-fetched story that they kind of thought I was making it all up.
But no imagination could conjure this shocking truth. Or the identity of the killer.
She was my mom. She's my mom.
"20-year-old Susan Knorr always enters the family home with trepidation.
So you decided to come back, have you? Huh? And just look at you.
Her younger sisters, Sheila and Terry, are on edge too.
Look at this piece of crap. Shut up!
My mom's personality was Jekyll and Hyde. One minute she could be the most loving person in the world, the next minute you were scared you were gonna die.
You see that? Are you gonna grow up and look like her, are you?
Her sense of discipline and abuse were so far out of whack that it's just unbelievable.
For years, Theresa Knorr has been abusing her 3 daughters, mentally and physically.
She's burned my back with cigarettes. She's put guns to my head. She's held knives to my throat, handcuffed me and beat me.
Theresa spares her 2 sons. They're encouraged to help the torment.
She liked men, but she didn't like women at all. She was jealous of her daughters. She enjoyed controlling them, controlling the house.
There was nothing in her mind but hatred, just sheer rage.
And today, that rage escalates to a place it's never been before.
My brother Robert was standing behind Susan, holding her back. My sister was fighting to get away. And my mom pulled the gun out and shot her.
What could drive a mother to shoot her daughter?
She was delusional and paranoid. And people that are delusional and paranoid should not be raising children. They are dangerous.
Theresa's terrifying delusions are symptoms of a mental illness. She's schizophrenic.
Schizophrenia is a mental illness that is believed to be some kind of genetic defect, chemical imbalance. People that get treatment can see symptom relief from the delusions. But Theresa wasn't getting treatment. And it grew, and it festered, and it became worse.
She believes her daughter's youth and their beauty are destroying her.
She thought her daughter, Susan, had cast a spell on her, and that spell was making her gain weight.
Theresa thinks a bullet will stop the spell.
Theresa felt that Susan was the devil She would try and tell the other children that she could see horns coming out of Susan's forehead.
Susan isn't dead. She's seriously wounded, with the bullet lodged in her back. Her mother decides to let her live, but no one calls a doctor.
They were afraid of her. They were brought up under her violence. They weren't going to go to the authorities.
In the Knorr family, a trip to the hospital is out of the question. Susan is left to recuperate in the bath for 2 weeks.
The siblings are, part of them is thinking, well, better her than me. They grow up with this. They really don't understand that this isn't how life is in every household.
Incredibly, Susan makes a full recovery. But she knows she must leave her abusive mother.
My sister Susan would literally beg my mother, Mom, please just let me go, I'll do whatever you ask, just let me go. And my mom told her that if she let her take the bullet out of her back, that she'd let her go.
The price of Susan's freedom will be home surgery by her mother's hands.
I can see the top.
She wanted to remove the bullet that was lodged in her back because she didn't want, at some time in the future, for this bullet to be discovered and for law enforcement to come back and arrest her.
My mom hurt later on her stomach.
Here we go.
And she pulled the bullet out of my sister's back.
Hold it. Here she comes.
Why in the world Suzanne said okay to that is beyond me, but it does speak to the complete domination and control through fear that those children had of their mother. That promise of getting away was worth it.
Instead of gaining freedom, Susan becomes gravely ill, sliding into a coma as her body fights infection from the kitchen surgery. What comes next will be almost relief.
Taking her and her possessions, putting her on the top of all of her possessions, pouring gas on her, lighting a match.
In Sacramento, California, Theresa Knorr makes her sons build a funeral pyre. Driven by schizophrenic delusions, she has already shot her daughter, then cut the bullet out. Now, she wants to burn her body.
My mother thought that my sister had actually died when she pulled the bullet out of her, and that her body had been possessed by some evil spirit or a demon. In order for her to purge that evil spirit out of my sister's body had to be burned. All of her possessions and her had to be burned in order to free her soul.
But Susan isn't dead. She's in a coma. Her mother is burning her alive.
No! Mama, shut up!
With Susan gone, Theresa turns to her next eldest daughter, Sheila.
She would force feed her. And if my sister wouldn't eat it all and would get so sick from being force fed, my mother would make her eat that food with the vomit in it.
Crazed by violent delusions, Theresa thinks her daughters are making her ugly.
Theresa's very existence as a woman was threatened by the presence of her daughters. She believed they were hurting her, that their youth, that their beauty was actually hurting Theresa. Youngest daughter, Terry, is forced to witness each brutal act. In the height of summer, Theresa locks Sheila in a closet without food or water for over a week.
I'm gonna climb up and get to the light.
She kept saying she was crawling towards the light. She was gonna crawl towards the light.
I need a drink. Drink? Okay, go drink.
My mother left the house.
She's not.
I don't know exactly how long she was gone. It wasn't very long at all. And she left me there. And I tried to give my sister a beer. And my sister had explained to me she didn't want that. She wanted some water.
Water. Okay, I'll get you water.
Before I could get back to her with the water, my mother was pulling up. So I had to leave her there.
Beaten and bound, Sheila dies at just 20. Before she passes, she warns her little sister.
She told me, Mom killed Susan. And Susan told me I would be next, and I am. And she said, and when Mom's done with me, she's gonna kill you.
Terry finally decides to leave. She runs to authorities, but her story is so grotesque, no one believes her.
I had told police officials, I had told a lawyer who went to the police in Sacramento, nobody believed me. So I was starting to doubt myself even.
In time, someone began putting the pieces together. Detective John Fitzgerald has 2 unsolved murder cases that seem to confirm Terry's story.
One involved a young lady that was located along the highway. She was on fire at the time.
We're gonna put your sister in this box.
The other case involved a young lady that approximately 1 year later was discovered about 5 miles away at the edge of a small lake, and she had been placed in a box.
John Fitzgerald is my personal hero. He is the detective that kept the case open. He's the detective that ultimately came to my house and listened to me.
Terry told me that the 2 ladies who were killed in our area were her older sisters. She told me her mother was responsible for these 2 killings. In my mind and in my heart, I felt this was very valid information. She was telling me some things about these 2 crimes that nobody would know unless they had some very close connections to them.
Terry's testimony and Detective Fitzgerald's tenacity end Theresa Knorr's reign of terror.
We obtained arrest warrants for the mother, Theresa, and for the 2 sons, William and Robert.
Son, Robert, is given 3 years jail. William Knorr is placed on probation. Theresa pleads guilty to both murders. Her mental state doesn't alleviate her punishment. She's currently serving consecutive life sentences.
Did Theresa love her children? At times, she probably did. But far more powerful than any love she might have ever felt for her daughters was the delusion that developed that her daughters were a threat to her.
Terry Knorr serves her own life sentence. Still affected by the horrors of her childhood and torn by the love that every daughter feels for their mother.
There's nothing she could ever tell me that would ever make me understand why she did what she did. But forgive her? Oh yeah, I forgive her. And I do love her. I always have. She's my mother. That's it.